I want to do some kind of a DNS resolution. And I want to go to one website, let's say. Innomantra.com is the website which is there, right? And from my machine, let's say this DNS is not resolving. So the first thing, what do you think the first thing which my machine will do, where it will go for the lookup?
The .com database, sir.
Where it will go?
The .com database.
Immediately it will go to the .com database. Where is .com database? Does this laptop know where the .com database is?
So first it will go to the ISP's DNS server.
Okay, so does this laptop know where is ISP DNS server?
Sir, first it will go to the internet.
Does it know how to go to the internet? And why it will go to the internet? First, it will always go to the local DNS, right? And how will it know that where is local DNS? There is, yesterday I mentioned in the last class, just read about DHCP and DORA process. Do you all remember? I talked about this word. Yes or no?
With the DHCP, it gets a local IP and gateway and DNS. Yes, sir.
Okay, so what it will do means how you will go to the local DNS. Then again the question is,
Browser cookies.
no, when you have this DHCP server, what 5 information you get? What are the 5 things you get? What are the 5 things you get? This is something which is class 10th level of knowledge.
Sir, local DNS address, subnet mask.
Yes, very good, Sandeep.
Yes, sir, and router address.
Yes, it is not router address, it is gateway.
Gateway. Yeah.
Yes, it is gateway.
Sorry, sir, I just know these 3.
Okay, no problem. So, Sandeep is absolutely right. What you get with the DHCP process, the first thing is IP address, right? Which is given to this machine. Second thing you will get is the subnet mask. Third thing which you get is default gateway. Correct? So these are the 3 things related to the communication. And the fourth thing which you get is the primary DNS. And the fifth thing which you get is secondary DNS. And where can we find these things? Where can we find these things? Where I have to look for the settings? It is the TCP IP settings in your laptop, right? TCP
Yes,
IP.
sir.
On the Ethernet, you can go to the properties of TCP IP. There you will go to IPv4 settings, and in that you will be getting this, right? Okay, do you really think, I think most of you are aware about, you must have set the IPs some or the other time, right? Yes or no? Everyone has seen this settings.
Yes,
Because
sir.
sometimes we do a static mapping of the IP. We give IP sometimes manually. Yes or no, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Correct? So when you all have done this, why you are not speaking about this? This is very basic knowledge, right? So the laptop will do what? The first thing, it will always go where? This laptop
Local DNS.
go to the local DNS, and that IP is coming from where? This IP address. Correct? If this is
Yes.
not visible, then secondary DNS. Correct? So it will
Yes.
go to the, let's say, DNS server, or you can also call it as DNS resolver. And this DNS resolver, this machine will go and look for the recursive DNS, right? Now let's say this machine says that I don't have the IP address of innomantra.com, right? So it will say that, okay, no problem. What you do? You go to the root name server, right? You go to the root name server. So this machine will do what? It will say that, please provide me the IP address of, let's say, innomantra.com. Correct? And it will go to the root name server. Now, if the root name server is aware about the information, right? If the root name server is aware about the information, then it is fine. But let's say the root name server is not aware about the problem. So what the root name server will say, that I don't have the details of the IP address, what you're looking for. But since I see that your TLD is what .com, right? Your TLD is .com. So I am providing you the information or the name server of .com TLD. I am providing you the information of .com TLD where the repository is being maintained. So it will provide the IP address of that. Correct? So it responds back with the IP of name server of .com TLD. Now, if you notice one thing, this server, this just gave the information and send the request to this. See a moment, everyone. Okay, sorry for this. So you have IP of the name server TLD, which is there. Now let's say you have this name server of .com TLD. This is only there to provide the information. But again, who will do the recursive task? This, your local DNS server. So this is a recursive DNS who is checking or looking for the information multiple times, right? And this is a authoritative DNS. Authoritative DNS, which is able to provide the information what you're looking for, but after providing the information, it is not his responsibility that whether you are able to go to that position, whether you are working fine or not. It is not his responsibility, or the authoritative DNS is not responsible for this. Correct? Now, when you have the IP address of name server.com TLD, what you did, that okay, when I have the IP address, now what I'll do, I'll go to the Now again, I will do the same process. That is again looking for IP address of inumantra.com, correct? And this is the, let's say, name server of .com TLD. Now TLD says that, okay, you're right. .com domain I manage. I have the information of all the .com domains and I have the information of this as well. So when this domain was purchased, this was given by or procured by, let's say, GoDaddy, right? It was purchased by GoDaddy, or let's say, since we are learning AWS, so let's say we say that it was purchased from the AWS. You can use any one of them, right? Either GoDaddy or AWS. Let's not complicate it. Let's let's use GoDaddy only, right? So I can see that GoDaddy is the one whose name server is for using. So it will provide you the GoDaddy name server. Right? So IP of name server of GoDaddy, because that is the place where it was purchased, or that is the place where this was hosted, right? Now you have the information of IP of the name server of GoDaddy. Now this time again, the recursive lookup will start, correct? And this time again, you will go to name server of GoDaddy, correct? Because you have purchased from this. So now the user will again come to this. Can you please share the IP address of Innomantra? Correct. So now this server says that yes, I have the information available with me. Now you can successfully have the IP address of Innomantra.com, which can be, let's say, 1.2.3.4. This IP you get, right? And after that, this IP will be responded back to the machine, right? Now you have source IP, you have destination IP as well. Now, wherever this Innomantra.com server is sitting, let's say this is the place where Innomantra.com web server is sitting. Sorry. Correct? So now the machine will come over here. It will come all the way to this. And now you can access the machine or URL. So this is all happening in a fraction of seconds, right? These processes are faster. And after that, what happens once it has got the details of this, the local DNS will save this into local DNS cache so that it doesn't have to go to the lookup again. And also on the laptop at the browser level, there is also one cache maintained so that you can streamline this process or make this process much faster. Is that fine, everyone? Is everyone clear with this? I have unmuted everyone. Is it
Yes,
clear,
yes.
everyone?
Yes, sir.
All good? Okay.
So now you said that it's being saved in the cache. So next time it will directly contact the innoventra.com.
It will go to the browser cache if the details are there. Otherwise, it will go to the local DNS cache because it
Okay.
will have the details. If
Yeah.
the
So from the local DNS cache, it goes directly to innoventra.com.
yes, correct.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so now let's say we talked about the basics of DNS process, which is there. Now, everyone is aware about the various type of records which are there, right? Everyone is aware. What are the various types of records which are there? What are the various type of records are there? What do you think?
Sir, A record, A record, C name.
Okay. What else? What is the A record? What does A record does?
It maps it to a IPv4 address.
Okay, it maps to a IPv4 address.
Yes.
Okay, and what else? What are other type of records are there?
The A record maps it to a IPv6 address.
Okay.
And the C name is to another subdomain.
Okay. These are the various records I have listed over here for you. You can just go here and see this. A record for IPv4, quad A for IPv6, SOA when you create a new domain, it is by default added. NS is a name server record. Normally you will see CNAME is there when you are worried about that IP will change. You use a CNAME record. TXT records are there for validation, right? PTR are for reverse proxy, right? So then in that case, you can use this record that when you are doing for name to IP or IP to name, then you can use your PTR records as well. Reverse of A and quad A records, which maps IP address to domain names. That is what is a PTR record, correct? MX is for mails exchange. So this list is here. You can just go there and try and see what types of various records are there, correct? Let's come back to our discussion onto the Route 53. Now, when you have this domain names or you have the path available, always make sure that when you are using the provider or you are using, let's say, any service, whether it is GoDaddy, you're using Azure, you're using AWS, the one purpose is you want to have a control of DNS resolution. That is why you are going to Route 53. If you didn't want the control of Route 53 or DNS resolution, do you really think you will deploy Route 53? What do you think?
No, sir.
You will never need it, right? So the main purpose why Amazon Amazon Route 53 was evolved because you wanted to have a highly available, scalable, and fully managed DNS service. And this is what? This is not the local DNS. This is the authoritative DNS, right? All these DNS which you see over here, this name server of GoDaddy, this GoDaddy can be replaced with Route 53 as well. This can be Route 53, right? This can be Route 53. If you are using DNS of Route 53, just you can use anyone, whichever you want.
One question, Abhinandan.
Yeah.
Do we have a centralized name server where this, what do you say, GoDaddy and Route 53 will access that and it will fetch the detail for us like that?
So when you use centralized name server,
Okay.
so what is a centralized name server?
Means we have a name, domain name and IP address mapping in one location, and other service DNS service provider like GoDaddy, Route 59 will access those details from there and fetch it for us.
So that is what this DNS is doing, right? If you have it, over here, you will get that. Otherwise, it will go to the name server of that respective TLD or to the respective name server of the from where you have purchased, and it will get it for you. Means any use case which you feel that I want to have a server which will only save name server.
Because okay, I'm just thinking from my end. Let's see what like if I purchase one domain name from GoDaddy, and if I configure that in Route 55, right, Route 53, that will contact this GoDaddy only, right?
Yes, correct. But how You will be doing that. What you do,
That
you
will through
will
DNS
be
server.
in the GoDaddy,
Huh?
you will be defining the name servers of
Mhm.
Route 53. That anyone who is coming to the Route 53,
Mhm.
right, they will come to GoDaddy.
Mm.
Okay, let me just draw it for you. Let's say you have GoDaddy.
Okay.
Correct? Here you can also manage DNS by adding records, A record, C name record,
Correct.
and
Like
say
though.
you have Route 53, where also you can manage DNS
Correct.
and you can add records. Correct?
Correct.
Now let's say you have purchased the domain name from GoDaddy.
Okay.
You have purchased from here.
Mhm.
So authority or association of that domain lies where? With GoDaddy,
Okay. Mhm.
right? But you want that I want to add records to Route 53, and Route 53 is the place where I want to manage the DNS and not in GoDaddy.
Correct. Correct.
Correct?
Correct.
So let's say in GoDaddy, there are name servers of GoDaddy.
Mhm.
So every time what will happen? Anyone who is coming to GoDaddy or the domain name which you have purchased, it will always see name servers of GoDaddy.
Correct.
And if it doesn't find the record, it will fail,
Mhm.
right? But let's say if you have the capability to add the name server of Route 53 over here, what will happen? Anyone who is coming to the GoDaddy will be redirected to the name servers which are entered over here. That will reach to Route 53.
Correct. Yes.
Now here it will see that okay, a record is there which is pointing to this IP. Now you can manage the DNS over here. So Route 53 NS record should be mapped to GoDaddy for it to work.
Okay. Nice. This makes sense. Mhm.
Okay? And
Got
this
it.
is how organization work who have purchased the domain name from GoDaddy or BigRock or any other organization. They want to have a domain name with them, purchase from some other place, they will just do a redirection and they will manage the DNS locally.
Mhm.
Sir, can we also import the domain to Route 53?
No, you can't.
Okay.
Otherwise, how GoDaddy will make money?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Correct? You are taking
So
away.
frontline services, this GoDaddy and other one. So
Yeah.
Route 53 will register with these main services, right? This TLDs.
So ultimately, you have all these DNS registrars. That is why these concepts are important. DNS
Okay.
registrars are all AWS, GoDaddy, everyone is there. Whoever
Mm.
sold the domain name,
Mm.
he will share the information of what name servers. So if you have the name server of AWS in the GoDaddy,
Mm.
what the TLDs will have? Whatever is defined inside the GoDaddy name
Yes.
servers. Correct? So if you
Mm.
have overwritten the GoDaddy name server with AWS, the registry operators will only have AWS name servers.
Mm.
Got it?
Okay.
That is why the process to explain this is everything, all basics should be there. That how this registry operators are resolving. Because we overwrited the AWS name servers into GoDaddy. Correct?
Mm.
To purchase a domain name, Mahesh,
Mhm.
get the name servers, create a hosted zone in Route 53, replace the name servers of Route 53 into GoDaddy or whichever you are using,
Mm.
and then add a record in Route 53 and check whether the DNS resolution is working or not.
Mm. Mm.
You forgot the steps.
No, no, listening. I mean, this is first time, right? But then I'm just mapping inside, like how it is working.
Yeah.
Actually, when I heard this for the first time, I mean, I got this doubt. Actually, I mean, how they will communicate internally.
But how, why did you not ask the trainer?
No, I asked that time. Actually, I didn't get proper answer. Like how the I mean, those are communicating. Like whether Route 53 provide DNS service like that. Then I got some other answers. So that was no, that time I was not convinced. but I just kept quiet.
But now you are convinced.
Yes. It makes. Yeah. Thank you.
See, that is why it's all have to be started from scratch. That how the packet is being built, when the packet is built, how it is seeing the URL, bifurcation, how it is going to the TL registry operators, and how the DNS resolution will work, and then type of the records, and then Route 53 should come in. Otherwise, students will be lost. How the communication is happening. Correct?
So all this registrant will communicate between each other, right?
Yeah, correct. See, registrants are what? Registrants is a person like you who is creating a URL.
Mm.
Registrant is the one who has purchased the
Sorry,
domain.
DNS registrars.
No, registrars are the one who are selling the domain names.
Okay, but they will communicate with each other, right? Like
No, why
because
they will connect together?
I will purchase domain name from GoDaddy.
Yeah.
I'll put it in Route 53, but internally they will communicate, right?
So DNS registrars will
Mm.
keep on updating, just like there is a timer in the DNS, right?
Mm.
Have you worked with any DNS, first of all?
No.
Have you used GoDaddy or something by any chance? If you
I
go
mean,
with the GoDaddy, there is a TTL, right? 1 hour,
yes.
100 seconds. These TTLs are what? These that, okay, every 1 hour, I will be refreshing my zone file. I will updating the TLD.
Mm.
So what will happen if there is any name server you have added for AWS? They will be sent to the registrars
Okay.
by default. Every 1 hour they will be doing it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And this is they are doing by themselves. But let's say there is an urgent query. So anyone can come query the .com TLD zone file. That okay, previous one was this file. So they can come and ask, okay, give me the latest name servers, right? So they can always query you. And this is something which you are giving them by default to the registry operators. Clear?
Mm. Okay. Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, so what we are getting in Route 53, one is it's a highly available, means it's a service which is the fully managed offering, which is not going down. So it's a highly available service, and availability is taken care by AWS, and scalability you don't have to worry about scalability. Correct? Also, it is a fully managed offering, fully managed service, and this is a authoritative DNS, right? Now, when you have the word authoritative, just like I mentioned, that this is the one who is giving the information, who has the authority, right? So you have the capability to update these authoritative servers, right? So in these authoritative servers, there are DNS records, and these can be updated by the customer, right? And the recursive one is do what? Recursive one is doing the lookup. They do the lookup, recursive lookup. And these ones, these are authoritative who have the information. Correct? So these Route 53 others, these are basically your domain registrars, which are there, acting as a domain registrar as well. Which you see over here, Route 53 is also a domain registrar. Where is that? So AWS Route 53, you see, this is also a DNS registrars or domain registrars. Correct? Which is there. Now, when you have this Route 53 being created, the creation of the Route 53 is very easy. Correct? The creation of the Route 53 is very easy. And also AWS is guaranteeing a 100% availability SLA, right? AWS is guaranteeing what? It says that, okay, my DNS server is 100% of availability. SLA is what they are guaranteeing as a service. Correct? Now, usually people get confused or do have a query. Why does the name Route 53 is there? What do you think? Why this is Route 53? I think this everyone should be aware. Why the name is Route 53? Don't do Google. This you should be knowing.
Sir, it is the port DNS servers use.
This is the port.
DNS servers use.
Yes, so it is not DNS server use. It's a traditional ports on which DNS query happens. Right? Traditional ports on which DNS resolution or DNS query happens. Because there are well-known ports and random ports, right? So whether it is TCP packet or UDP packet, in the well-known ports, there is a port 53, whether it is TCP or UDP, port 53 is a well-known port for